Pig is considered as one of the major sources of livelihood and source of animal protein for the rural poor. The pig sector has enormous potential to upscale the livelihood status of rural masses of the country. Good feed conversion efficiency, shorter generation interval and a relatively smaller space requirement are the major attractions for farmers to begin pig rearing. In the backyard farming systems, farmers are mainly practicing traditional ways of pig rearing. Scientific know-how in pig husbandry is essential for the farmers for increased profit from pig farming. The ICAR-National Research Center on Pig in Guwahati at Rani was established in the year 2002 to act as a repository of information on pig production and health and to undertake research and transfer the evolved technologies to the client groups. The institute comprises a pig farm of more than 600 animals and world-class laboratories for undertaking the research works. The scientific staff of the institute work for the development of scientific knowledge and to transfer the technologies among different stakeholders involved in the piggery. The institute also conducts frequent training programs on scientific pig farming for farmers, entrepreneurs and government officers. By undertaking and adopting these scientific practices, the income from pig farming can be increased significantly. The institute has also taken many steps for preserving the indigenous germplasm of pigs. One of the factors which determine profit in pig farming is the breed reared by the farmers. The weight gained by a pig at 6 to 8 months and the number of piglets produced vary from breed to breed. So a farmer should purchase piglets with superior performance and adapted to local environmental condition. Broadly, Indian pig population consists of 3 types of breeds known as indigenous, exotic and crossbreds. The indigenous breeds like Ghungru, Niang Megha, Doom, Tenivo, Agonda Gua, Nicobari pig and Zovac are well adapted to the hot and humid environment and supposed to have better disease tolerance. Generally, these pigs are of smaller size. Exotic breeds are those which have been imported from other countries. Hampshire, Duroc and large white Yorkshire are examples. These breeds were extensively used for crossbreeding programs in our country in the past. Crossbreeding of native pigs with exotic boars are being practiced to develop crossbreeds with superior performance. The ICAR-National Research Center on Pig developed 2 crossbreeds varieties named as Rani and Asha. 7 other region-specific crossbreed varieties are also developed by All India Coordinated Research Project Centers. The farmers should purchase the piglets from organized farms to ensure the quality of the germplasm. Government farms like ICAR-National Research Center on Pig, Rani, Guwahati, All India Coordinated Research Project Centers and mega seed centers throughout the country and state department farms are providing superior piglets to farmers on need basis.
Namaskar, mor naam Icon Sorgari, Mohan para Atmohai Gurupor Hodosha, Amar Barazon Group ase, Aru Kibuluga NRC Framor para Ranir para, Gahuri Barota Basu, Aru Tarpura Danao die, Mahe Mahe, Aru Ami do time ke Dana diu, do time ke Safakuru. Aru gahuri belakor hulo jor babemar haga bumi hole sar hato khobor diong khobor dile দানা দিয়ে বিজি দিয়াকে আহে বা ঔষধ দিয়ে দি পঠিয়াই কিবা বেমাৰ হ'লে কিবা হ'লে তাৰ পৰা সহায় কি বুলি কয় চোৱা চিতা কৰি যায় বিজি দি যায় এতিয়া বৰ্তমান গাহৰিকেইটা ডাঙৰো হৈ আহিছে আজি 5 মাহ মান হ'ল
Construction of a pig house is one of the basic requirements to start pig rearing. Housing protects pigs from harsh weather conditions and allows animals to be optimally productive. The pig houses should be constructed in a land with appropriate provision of water, electricity, roads and access to markets. The building should be constructed with its long axis in the north-south direction to protect from the sun. Provision of a minimum 8 to 10 meter distance away from the farmer's house is essential. The pigsty should be comfortable for the pigs with good ventilation and ample shade. The building needs to be divided into different pens for each phase of the production cycle like weaner, grower, pregnant sow and lactating sow. Male and female growers should be kept in separate sty. Enough space should be provided for all pigs to lie stretched out side by side, along with 20 to 60% extra space for excretory function and other activity. The standard space requirement for different categories of pigs is shown here. Ample space should be given to boars for exercise. While the pigs are standing, at least half the floor area should be visible. Floor should be made non-slippery and should be inclined properly to facilitate the drainage of the farm. The floor should also be free from dampness and it is also important to raise the floor above the ground level to prevent reptiles, rats, etc. Walls should be strong enough and with a height of 4 feet above the floor for males and 3 feet for females. Provision of cold stress management in the shed is recommended mainly for piglets. Feeder space should be adequate enough to allow all the pigs in the pen to eat simultaneously. Trough space of 2.5 feet is optimum. After the construction of the pigsty and bringing superior breed piglets into the farm, the major aspect which every farmer looks into is the availability of cheaper nutrient-rich feed resources. As the feed accounts for more than 70% of the total cost of the pig rearing, enough attention should be paid while formulating and selecting the feed ingredients. As pigs are non-ruminant animals, they cannot utilize the fibrous feed effectively as the cattle do. So ration must have more concentrates and fewer roughages. The feed should be provided twice a day for the pigs. The nutrient requirement for starter, grower, finisher, adult boar and lactating gilts with different body weights varies considerably. The young pigs need to have fresh food available to them all the time. The female should be fed less energy feed per day compared to the males. The pregnant sows should be fed at the rate of 2 kilograms feed per day per pig. So, adjust the feed quantity according to the breed, body weight and growth stage rather than feeding the same amount to all. The feed should be balanced with energy, protein, vitamins and minerals. This will improve the growth of pigs and reduce the cost of feeding. The conventional energy suppliers used in swine feeding include rice bran, wheat bran, rice polish, maize grain, broken rice, etc. The conventional protein suppliers which can be included in the swine diet are groundnut cake, fish meal, soybean meal, mustard oil cake, linseed cake, etc. Provision of mineral mixture in the diet is also favored. The feed formula for different categories of pigs is shown in the table. These feed ingredients need to be grounded and mixed in an appropriate ratio in the feed mill. To meet the feed demand in affordable cost without compromising the nutritional requirements, non-conventional feed resources can also be included in the feed. These include colocasia, banana pseudostem, tapioca tubers, green leafy vegetables, moringa leaves, potatoes, sweet potatoes, aquatic plants like water hyacinth, azolla, etc. The byproducts of milling industry, oil extraction industry, dairy industry and fish industry can also be used. The poultry offals, kitchen wastes, bakery waste and vegetable waste can also be fed to reduce the feed cost. While providing the feed, supply coarsely ground materials in feed rather than a fine mixture. The feeding trough should be maintained clean always.
Namaskar, মোৰ নাম মহেন্দ্ৰ বড়ো। মোৰ বৰ্তমান গাহৰি 12টা আছে। আগতে অলপ বেছিকৈ আছিল, মই বিক্ৰী কৰিলোঁ বাকিখিনি। তাৰ পিছত মই দানাটো নিজে বনাওঁ। দানাটো বনোৱাটো কুচু দিওঁ, পানীয়ালু দিওঁ, আলু দিওঁ, শুকান মাছ দিওঁ আৰু মাকৈ দিওঁ। তাৰ পিছত ৰেডিমেড দানা অলপ দিওঁ, গডৰেজ ফিডটো। মই দানাৰ দামটো কমাবৰ কাৰণে বৰ্তমানটো দানাৰ দাম বহুত বাঢ়ি আছে, সেইটো মই কমাবৰ কাৰণে নিজে বনাওঁ আৰু দানাটো। দানাৰ লগত আৰু মই মৰ্নিং টাইমত এই মিনাৰেল মিক্সাৰটো মিক্স কৰোঁ। ডাঙৰক অলপ বেছিকৈ দিওঁ, মোৰ হিচাপৰ মতে দিওঁ আৰু সৰুটো অলপ কম দিওঁ। আৰু ইভিনিং টাইমত মই চাৰ্কোফেৰলটো ইউজ কৰোঁ, সেইটোও মই ডাঙৰ সৰুটো চাই কিনি মিক্স কৰোঁ আৰু।
The feed materials which are abundant at a particular time can be preserved by making silage for the lean period. Silage can be prepared with tapioca tubers and also by using vegetable waste. Silage making involves different steps. For making silage using vegetable waste, first we have to collect the vegetable waste from the market. The collected materials should be washed thoroughly and sun-dried for 3 to 4 hours. After that, the waste material should be cut into small pieces and mix with 3% jaggery. That means if we are using 100 kilograms waste, mix it with 3 kilogram jaggery. Then also add 0.25% salt. That is, for 100 kilogram waste, add 250 grams salt. After thorough mixing, pack it in silage bags or in thick polythene sheets under airtight condition. Keep it for 21 days. Then the materials will become ready for feeding. After opening the silage bags, the materials should be finished within 2 to 3 days. 2 kilogram vegetable waste silage with 1 kilogram rice polish or rice bran plus 100 grams of oil cakes or fish meal along with 2 teaspoonful mineral mixture per day per adult pig will meet the production requirement. Selection of animals for breeding purpose should be done with due care. Long cylindrical body is preferred for breeding boar. Generally, animals with maximum weight at 6 months of age are preferred. The breeding boar should have high vigor with active look and free from diseases and physical defects. The selected gilts must have 6 pairs of functional teats, adequate length and depth of the body, thick, well-muscled hams and prominent neck. Animals with a history of good litter size and weight in previous farrowing are preferred for breeding. Separate housing should be provided for male and female growers to avoid unnecessary mating. Mating between the close relatives should be avoided to prevent inbreeding depression. The first heat of gilt should be left without mating. That means mating at AI should be done on second heat of gilts. In the case of sows, mating should be done on the heat observed just after weaning. Give extra feed to sows and gilts from 1 to 2 weeks prior mating or AI and return to the normal feeding after mating or AI. Heat detection can be done by standing reflex, that is, the sow will stand still if pressure is applied on the back. Restlessness of the animal, swollen and reddish vulva and mucus discharge are also the signs of heat. For mating, take the sow to the boar. Do not take boar to the sow. Natural mating should be preferably done whenever standing heat is detected. The boar used for natural mating should be of similar size that of sow. If artificial insemination is preferred, use good germplasm semen from a credible source. The good quality semen can be obtained from reputed semen processing centers. The practice of AI can be done by veterinary doctors, paravets or trained farmers. The AI should be done in gilt at the late first day of heat and on sows on the second day of heat. Don't forget to record the date of mating or AI to get the expected date of farrowing.
নমস্কাৰ, মোৰ নাম বিনীতা লাকৰ। মই ইয়াত 45 জনী গাহৰি পুহিছোঁ। তাৰে দুজনী ইয়ে কৰা হৈছে। ইয়ে কৰা গাহৰি কেইজনী প্ৰবন্ধ আছে। প্ৰবন্ধ ছাৰে আমাক ইয়ে কৰি দিছে। ৰাণী চেণ্টাৰৰ পৰা চিমেণ্ট আনি কিনে ইয়ে কৰি দিছে। আৰু গাহৰি আমাৰ সময়মতে চাফা কৰি থাকে, দুবাৰ চাফা কৰা হয়।
Care and management of pregnant animals should be done properly to get healthy piglets. Keep the animal liberally fed and kindly treated. Keep the pregnant animals separated from others. Provide steaming up ration in the last 3 weeks of pregnancy. Provide an additional 500 grams feed per day per animal so that piglets will be heavier. Deworm them 2 weeks before farrowing. The pregnant animal should be transferred to a farrowing pen at least 8 to 10 days before farrowing. Provide a bedding of chopped straw under covered area so that sows can exhibit nesting behavior. More than 60% farrowing occurs at night or early morning, so special care has to be given in order to avoid loss of piglets due to crushing, chillness, etc. Newborn piglets are cleaned from adhering fetal membranes and fluids, especially in the mouth, nose, ear and other body parts. Clean the hind portion of the sow with lukewarm water after farrowing. Skin of the udder should be sprayed with iodine-based skin antiseptic. Prevent the sow from eating her placenta. Assist piglets to get the teat and suckle colostrum from their mother's udder. Colostrum is the first milk produced by the sow after labor or farrowing. The sow should be provided its first meal 12 hours after farrowing. Provide adequate balanced nutrition to lactating sow for sufficient milk production for piglets. The umbilical cord of newborn piglets has to be cut at 2.5 centimeters from the body and disinfected with iodine solution or any other mild antiseptic. All the 4 needle teeth of piglets need to be cut with the help of a sharp pliers within 2 days of the age. In order to prevent piglet anemia, iron injection is given intramuscularly to the piglets on 4th and 14th day of birth. Identification of individual animals is very necessary in the farm. For that, ear notching or ear tagging has to be carried out. In the case of neonatal diarrhea, piglets are provided with an oral rehydration solution. In the case of male piglets, castration should be done at the age of 14 to 20 days to avoid the unpleasant bore odor in fattener pigs. The smaller or orphan piglets have little or no opportunity to take sow's milk, hence these should be either cross-fostered or given artificial milk feeding. Creep feeding is the practice of feeding a solid diet to the piglets while they are suckling the sow, preparing their digestive system for weaning. Creep feed is served in the creep area so that sow will not have access to this feed. Creep feeding can be started from 15 days. Once the piglets start taking an adequate quantity of solid feed, they should be separated from their mother. This is known as weaning. Weaning should be done at the age of 45 days, depending on the size of the piglets, or after attainment of 4.5 to 5 kgs of body weight. Some of the common bacterial and viral diseases in pigs can be prevented by taking adequate health care measures and by maintaining proper hygiene at the farm. Health management begins with the provision of clean drinking water for the animals, which may avoid the occurrence of many diseases. Regular vaccination against diseases like swine fever, foot and mouth disease, and porcine circovirus have to be done. For this, contact the government veterinary officers in the locality. Ensure that it has been carried out on time as per the vaccination schedule.
নমস্কাৰ মোৰ নাম শ্ৰী Keshab Barman। গাহৰি যে আমি পুহিছোঁ এই গাহৰি যেতিয়া প্ৰেগনেন্সি হয় তাৰপিছত যেতিয়া পোৱালি দিব পোৱালিটো দিয়াৰ পিছত আমি 4 দিনৰ ভিতৰত আইৰণ ইনজেকশ্যনটো দিওঁ আৰু সময়ে সময়ে ভ্যাকচিনটো আমি ব্যৱহাৰ কৰোঁ চাৰক লৈ ফেলাই আৰু ইয়াৰ যিটো খাদ্য মানে দিওঁ ইয়াৰ মলিনতাখিনি মানে লেতেৰা যিখিনি মলিনতা ইয়াত আমি পুখুৰীত পানীত পেলাই দিওঁ ফিচাৰীত আৰু সেই পানীত পেলোৱাৰ পিছত মাছে খায় আৰু সেই খাদ্যটো মাছৰ পৰা আমি মানে এটা লাভৱান পাই আছোঁ আমি এক্সট্ৰা মাছক
প্ৰপেক সৰু তাৰমানে তাতে গোবৰ খেৰ আৰু আঢ়ৈ গাছৰ মাটি সেইকেইটা ভৰাই পেলাই গাহৰিৰ এই মলি দি তাৰমানে চব বস্তু তাৰমানে ভাৰ্মি কম্পোষ্টত ভৰাই তাৰমানে সাৰ বনাওঁ মই সাৰ বনাই তাৰমানে প্ৰক্ৰিয়া কৰোঁ যেনে মাটিত সেই এতিয়া মই বৰ্তমান সেইটোৱে দি চলি আছোঁ চৰকাৰৰ সাৰ ব্যৱহাৰ নকৰাকৈ চবেই এনেকুৱা কৰিলে অলপ ভাল হয় গাহৰি 5টা আছে মোৰ সেইটো গোবৰেদি মই ভাৰ্মি প্ৰক্ৰিয়াত প্ৰভাৱ কৰে আৰু খেতিত লগো আমি খেতিটো উন্নত পাইছি পচন সাৰ কৰি আমি তাৰমানে প্ৰপেক কৰোঁ
The disinfection of premises with bleaching powder or limestone powder is recommended. Used beddings should be removed and burned regularly. The farmers should be a little cautious while working on the farm. Use of separate clothes and footwears, preferably boots, are needed. Proper cleaning of hands after working on the pig farm is desirable. These kinds of small precautions may help in running a pig farm successfully. The queries regarding the scientific way of pig rearing can be answered by the veterinary doctors at your place, or you can also contact the scientists at the ICAR-National Research Center on Pig at Rani, Guwahati. By adopting all these scientific practices, piggery will be turned into more sustainable and profitable farming sector which improves the livelihood status of those who depends on it.